that work? Okay, I sent you an invite for the camera. There we go.
Turn on camera. Okay.
It's been a little touchy with me. Like, TikTok, stop being mad at me. I didn't even do anything yet.
What am I doing? Hold on. No, that not that one. Okay. Let's see.
Hey, there we go. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, you got it.
We were so excited because once we got into your book, oh my gosh, the back and forth between our text chain. Like, are you on this chapter yet? Are you on this chapter yet?
Really? Oh my God,
Oh
that's
yeah,
so cool.
I finished it in one sitting, and usually when I get an arc, I like to read the first chapter to like get the vibe and see if I have to be like in a certain mindset, like if it's too dark. I did that with yours, and I'm laying in bed, and I'm just like flying. And then
Are you
I rolled
serious?
over and I'm like, oh, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Really? Oh my God, that's so amazing.
Oh, it was, I mean, like, my husband was so excited because I was like massaging him the whole time I was reading. I just never stopped. So he got like,
My husband would have loved that. That's for sure.
he was
Oh
like, do
my
you have
God.
another one by her? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go have to find one.
There's nine more where that came from, that's for sure.
And while we're having everybody funnel in, do you mind introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about yourself?
Um, Hi. You call me Missy. That's what I go by. I've gone by that since I started writing. What do you think? So I live right outside of Philadelphia. So that's why I'm all geared up because we are Super Bowl champs. So that's pretty cool.
I was
And
expecting like the face paint. I was promised face paint.
I did not promise face paint. I just promised like gear. I no, I could have, I guess. I don't know. But tonight there's the Phillies are in the playoffs, and then the Eagles are playing as well on a Thursday night, which is very unusual for I don't know, just unusual. When my husband told me that they were playing on Thursday, I was like, oh, that's weird. Like I didn't because we just played Sunday. So anyway,
Right.
we're a very big sports um, household. But I see my son. Hi, Brian. My son's at college and he's hopped on. So what else? I have two kids. Married 5 years at the end of the month, and we have two kids, both in college. Um, And what else? We just got a new puppy.
Yay.
Yes, we got a new puppy. Her name is Stevie Nicks. Um,
Ah, I love that.
she's so cute. My daughter named her. She's just brought a lot of joy
Excellent
around.
taste.
Yes, she does have excellent taste. Yes. Um, and what else? I've been writing since 2012, and then I took a little break to be a
I
full
think
time.
the mic is cutting in and out. Let's see. Does that work? That work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear
Okay.
okay?
Yes. It was doing
You're
like a creaking, so I wasn't sure if it was on my end or your end.
yeah,
Just want to
I
make
don't
sure.
know. I can't
Okay.
tell. I don't know.
Sounds
Well,
good. You sound good.
do I sound good? Okay. Okay. Um,
You're talking about Stevie Nicks.
oh, yes. So my daughter named her. So we just unfortunately our 14-year-old dog passed away, and she was like our everything. She was like I was her person. So when she passed away, 10 days later, I had major spinal surgery.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yes, yeah. And I was just very much like in down in the dumps, and I basically went online and I bought a dog, and I didn't tell my husband. I told the kids, but I didn't tell my husband, and he wasn't happy at first, but um, he's in love right now. So
That's how it always is. They're always the most mad out of everybody, and then they're like babying it the next day.
well, he felt betrayed, which I can't blame him for feeling like that because um, we didn't tell him. I just went ahead
Right.
and got the dog, and then him after I put down the down payment. And she, and my husband just said she's watching from my lap. That's
Yay!
um. So anyway, she's brought a lot of joy back because
Okay.
things were rough. I mean, it was like the dog died, and then I had like this major
Right.
surgery that
Back to back, yeah.
yeah, back to back. So it was kind of hi Cherise.
How are
So
you recovering?
I'm doing well. I'm going back to work
Good.
in 2 weeks. I work for college. I'm going back in 2 weeks. So I had the surgery in July. I had uh, this radiation that was compressing on my spine. So that was a lot.
Oh man.
And it took 9 months for me to find the right doctor in order to have somebody, say, oh, this is bad. And then he was like,
Right.
how's 2 weeks from now? And I'm like, yep. And then 5 days later, the dog passed away. So it kind of sucked. But
Yeah.
getting there, summer wasn't that great just because, all that happened and, just trying to navigate getting well, going through my recovery.
Right.
What the heck is that annoying beeping or screeching noise?
Is it back again?
Yeah.
Let me see.
You hear it?
Hmm.
I don't know if it's on my end or not.
Can you still hear it, Wendy? I changed mics. Maybe that. Well, I'm glad you're recovering well and that you found a doctor that was good and helped you.
Oh, I feel like a different person. I mean, I'm still having, like it takes about 6 months for everything to kind of like um, for you to recover from everything because
Right.
there was so much going on.
Right.
But yeah, but it's okay. I'm getting there, and so yeah, just happy to be here. Oh, it's gone now. Okay. Oh wait, now it's back again. That's so
Right. Do you mind muting your mic and then turning it back on? Maybe that'll fix it.
how does one do that?
So
Your
I
mic.
think you just, yeah, you click on yourself. There you go. And then click it again. And
Okay.
that should fix it. That's what I had to do.
Beautiful. How's now? Are we good?
I think we're good. Okay. No, I was excited when you were talking to me and messaging me because I was so excited to get into your book. And I fell in love with it like instantly. I mean, Austin, I was like, yes, a man that yearns is a man that earns.
And I don't think that I've ever written a character like him before. I mean, I love hello. Um Inez. Hi Inez. Um I don't think that I've ever written a character like him before where he's like so pining and she is just so clueless. Like I really wanted her to be absolutely like boom, you do? You really do? And then there was this attraction and um then that culminated into the relationship. But I really wanted like a golden retriever. Like I really wanted him to be like that person that yearned and yearned and yearned and her being like waking up and kind
And
of
being shocked.
and
Yes.
being like okay and then feeling something for him once um once they had that little interaction in, towards the beginning, middle of the book. And so, yeah.
I loved the slow burn. I appreciated it, and I loved how he was like so patient, but he was also like protecting her from, the ex that keeps coming back and stuff like that. My favorite part was the side character being like, "How long have you been looking at her that way?"
Like you're a walking wet dream, right?
Yes.
I know. I
Oh, when she called him out, I was like, "Yes."
I loved writing Kat's character because I took her personality from some of my friends and some of the people that are personal in my life and just put her personality in from them into her. And that
Yep.
was really fun to do. Loved uh, I loved it. I loved writing her. I loved how she told it like it was and didn't
Yes.
hold back and you know um, yeah, she was really fun. I liked writing her lines. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you like Cat. Cat was cool. You always have to have like a side
Thank
character friend that will, you know, uh, bury the body. You hold the shovel.
you. Yes.
I'll throw the body in, and then I'll ask for you for the shovel back, and then we'll never speak of it again.
Yes.
You got to have something like
She was so fun to read. Like I loved her from the beginning, but when she said that and called him out, I was like, yes. Like that's who I want in my corner at all times.
And you do. You want someone like that in your life, in your corner. I have a
Yes.
lot of friends that are like that. And, I took like just her snarky little attitude, especially from one of my best friends who's been my friend for 40 years, like since we were 11 years old. And she has no filter. And I don't know if she'll see this on TikTok or not, but she totally will know I'm talking about her if she is. But yeah, I really like sat there and I try to put myself when I'm writing into the characters, like what it would look like the whole scenario, the whole picture. And I thought about she was sitting at the table, he was looking at Tennyson coming in, and then Kat just being like, hmm,
Right.
this isn't the first time I've seen this, but now I'm like really seeing it. And,
Yes.
I pictured everything in my head, pictured it all, wrote it down, then went back, played with it for a little bit. And yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I loved her because I felt like she had that aha moment that we all kind of like were seeing coming, but like all the pieces were clicking together. Like he never really dated. He's always been there. He's always like in her
Yes.
corner. And then like she sees every kind, like every look in here and there. But like that one look, she was like, "Duh, oh, now I know what this means."
Yeah, like all the pieces were for her, all the pieces were clicking, and
Yes.
it was really, the announcement see where no one clapped, priceless.
Yes. Like nobody was shocked at all.
Everybody was like, I had that in my head, and I'm thinking to myself as I'm writing this, I'm like, I don't want anyone to have a reaction because I don't want them to act like they're surprised because they
Right.
they knew they knew. And
Right.
Kat looking at her nails and picking at them, and the two dads are like talking and drinking, and Kat's husband is like playing on his phone, and Austin's like, hello, like,
Right.
um like
Like they're waiting for this big reaction. Everybody's like, about time. Like, how long was this gonna take?
yeah, I mean, I love that part, and him getting a little bit upset, regarding like, um what? Oh, the squeak. Oh, he's No, then I gotta like turn it. My husband's saying that it's very squeaky.
Oh, I don't hear it. Maybe because I have headphones on.
He just gave me his earbuds. I don't know, but that then I would have to go back in, connect to the earbuds. I don't know.
You
It's
can
very
pull down the menu and it should let you go on,
okay. Hold on.
like and hit Bluetooth, and then you should be able to click it that way.
Okay.
Right? He was so mad. He was so mad that no one reacted. And I was cackling at that scene. I had to read it twice because I was just having such a good time. Like he was expecting like everybody to have this big reaction, everybody to be like shocked and floored that they got together. Like this is something they never thought coming. And then he's over, everybody's just like, okay.
Yeah, and yeah, I loved that whole entire scene because it was just that was the reaction when you're reading it. That was the reaction that I wanted readers to be like, oh, like a laugh out loud moment because
Yeah,
there's not that many in the book,
right.
but I needed to put something in there that would make somebody be like, oh my gosh, that's like no one is surprised. No one's, we're together, damn it. Yes. It was like, that's
And I
exactly
was laughing so hard. I was really shocked I didn't wake my husband up because I was cackling because I was actually like, are they gonna have a reaction? Like, be careful kind of thing. And then they just had none. Like they were just all waiting. And I was like,
I know. Yeah. They were like, and Austin's like, hello, like we're together. We're
acknowledge
together
this.
together. Together. And, I really, yeah, that was a really, hi, mom. My mom's there. That was a really cool part to,
No,
to,
I loved these characters and I got to a certain part, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I got to that certain part and you had my anxiety through the roof. Because I was like, okay, she can't do this to me right now. This is when I looked up and realized it was like, 3, 4 a.m. And I was like, she's probably not gonna respond to me if I like DM her and be like, is this gonna be okay?
well, I was so afraid because some, without giving like too much away, a lot of, because I haven't wrote in so long, I was
Right,
so afraid of like these new terms coming out. Like it's been a long time since I put something out, and putting
right,
2 books a year for years. So when I went back, I was like, well, what does this term mean, and what does that term mean? And I'm like, okay, I want this one to be like, I want this character to be like this, and I want
right,
this character to be like that. So I was kind of, just the third act breakup, which really turns a lot of people off. I
right.
mean, I'm like an avid reader. Like, I read 16 books during my recovery.
Yes.
So, because all I could do was just lay there. There was nothing that I
Right,
couldn't move. So, I didn't mind a little bit of drama. To me,
right,
I kind of like that. I don't know. I mean, that's not for everybody. It's not everybody's cup of
right.
tea, but Ever Known was one of my first arts. It was amazing. Thank you, Tyra. Thank you so much.
No, and I'm usually the one that would stay away from it because it will happen in the books that I have read that it happened. It would happen in like the most toxic ways, and then they're 2 chapters later, they're fine. But with yours, it felt like a natural decision that he would have made. Like he would have made that whether or not like they were together or not. Like that was something that he was kind of brewing up.
Yeah.
And I thought her reaction was valid though, because he's over here thinking, well, she's kind of like into this. I'm just gonna jump in and do it. And that's something like a friend would do. But I felt like it didn't click to him. Like you're in a relationship, you need to talk about this
And
before jumping the gun.
the exact reaction that I wanted was that was like well, we've been friends for so long, I don't think you'd mind. Like, kind of like,
Yes.
and he was never in a relationship before, where she was in a relationship for 7 years. So
Yes.
I kind of wanted that visceral reaction where, he was kind of, like nonchalant about it. And
Right.
so, yeah.
Because I didn't think it really ruined his character. Because usually when like it's a third act breakup, they do something so astronomical that you're just like, you ruined the last like 400 pages that I was reading because of that one action. But with yours, I'm like, he really is just like, we're friends. This is fine. But we're just like, and we just kiss now. And I'm like, this poor guy has no idea that he just like is gonna explode everything that their, relationship was based on. Yeah, it was like an innocent kind of a mistake, honestly, because if they were friends and he did this, it wouldn't have blown up.
No, I mean, I still think that they would have a conversation, but he
Right.
doesn't have to run everything by her either if they were
Yeah.
just friends. So
Right.
that's
But
where
I think that that like realization because you're going from friends to lovers. So you are, yes, you know a lot about them. Yes, you're very close, but you also have to like change that dynamic because now you're in a relationship and it's a different type of relationship. So I love that you captured that because it's very realistic if you're going to go from friends to lovers. You got to learn like, okay, well, there's boundaries now. There's conversations that need to be had now. Like you're
yeah,
transitioning. It is. Yeah.
this is my first friends to lovers book. Like I've written so
Really?
many like old flames coming back together. Like that's a lot. Like in the beginning of my first series was a
Right.
reunion series, and those books were about friends or exes coming together after like not seeing each other for a long time, and
Okay.
and um, so that was that. And then my second series was total enemies to lovers. Like every book was enemies to lovers series, and that was I loved writing that because they were they were just fun and just really cool to write. And then I wrote Strangers to Lovers. So,
Okay.
meet by chance, you're total strangers. You don't know anything about this person, and then things start to happen. So, this was fun to write because it was like a best friend guy. Like, it's cool to have a guy that's a best friend. I don't have a guy besides my husband. I mean, he doesn't count. So, yes, he's my best friend, but like having like that guy that is your best friend and you're
Right.
I always wanted to write kind of Austin's restraint is his power. Yes, it is. He restrains himself a lot. Poor guy.
Well,
That's what
it made me think of like Luke and Lorelai from Gilmore Girls. Like he's always there when she needs him, but he's never like the guy,
the guy.
until later on.
Yeah, yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. And that was so much fun to write like that like part because I love writing from the male point of view. It's my favorite. I don't I can't wait to get to that chapter. Like I
I think it's squeaking again.
no, I'm gonna put it on mute and I'm gonna take
Hmm.
okay.
Because it's cutting you out, but I'm not hearing the squeaking, but it is cutting you out. And I think that's when they said it was squeaking, when it was cutting you out. Good.
Oh, okay. How about now?
You do hear it? Okay. Do you hear it now?
I don't know.
Sorry, I don't know why TikTok's being so weird today.
Boo. Sorry.
No, you're fine. And you said
What
that she was inspired by one of your friends. What inspired you for Austin?
what inspired me for Austin was I always wanted like a male best friend that was like a protector. And I didn't have that because I always had boyfriends. So I
Right.
had guy friends, but not somebody that close. I mean, you know, I wanted to create something. where it was, is there a radio or speakers nearby? No, like literally there's nothing nearby.
Is it back again?
Like, yeah, it's back again. I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Wait, maybe it's gone because it turned off my
Oh,
ring light or something. No idea. I don't. Oh no, it's back again.
hmm. I don't know. Maybe do you want to try to go out and come back in and see if that fixes it?
You want me to go out and come back?
Yeah, like I could disconnect you and then you come back in and see if that like resets it. We could try that.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me try that. All right, let's try disconnect and then you could just come right back in.
Okay.
I don't know why it's doing that. I hear like cutting out, but I don't hear the squeaking. I don't know if it's because I have like headphones on. Maybe. Are you guys listening on headphones or do you have it just like playing? Yeah, I don't know. I've never had that happen before. You have headphones? Oh, I don't know. It's like I have the headphones on. Let me send it to her again. Sounds like frequency. Hmm. Can you hear it when I'm talking? Or no? Is it still squeaking? You can hear it when I'm talking too? I sound clear. Okay. Hmm. I don't know. Oh, thank you. I found blue eyeliner and I wanted to try it. I was like, well, we'll see if it goes over well. Okay. Try it again.
It's
Oh, I hear it now. Hmm. I wonder maybe it's on if she's on a laptop maybe? Switch to a phone maybe? I'm on a phone. I don't know if that makes a difference. I love this book though. And the cover was so pretty. I'm obsessed with the cover. I know. And I love that because like whenever my stuff breaks, I'm always just calling Cody. I'm like, can you come fix it? Yes, I loved, loved, loved that cover. Like it was so pretty. I loved like the color palette, but I also loved like the looking, like the people on it. And I'm usually not like
All
a
right, so
book
I
cover.
connected the Bluetooth. So maybe do you want to put me on back on the screen because now I have headsets in. All right,
All
here
right,
we
I
go.
just okay. Are we good?
Where I can hear you. Is
Okay.
anything squeaking?
I don't hear anything. Hi, Nova.
Must
Okay.
have been on my end. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
I
I
heard
was
you
hearing
guys
like a
talking
little bit of
about,
popping out, but I didn't hear the squeaking until just now.
so you can hear me good?
Yes. Perfect.
Perfect.
We
Okay.
were
So I
talking
heard you
about your
guys talking
cover.
about the cover.
Yes, it's
You want to know about
so
the cover?
pretty. Please.
Oh,
It's so pretty.
she's so pretty. So my husband is my book designer. He has design. He's started out as a graphic designer since he was 19 years old, and then he went on to be an art director, creative director. Now he's a partner in a small agency where they do. I don't know what you do. I know you're watching, so I know he's watching, and he tells me what he does all the time. But um, anyway, so when the first book came out, he started. I was like, "Oh, you can. Do you think you could do this cover?" And he said, "Yeah, definitely." And that was just like clip art. at first. And it was just like, okay, well, we're talking like 2012, 2013. He was basically just clip arting and then doing a little fancy things here and there just to make it a little bit more. Um, he just does things. He just does things. Thanks, Carrie. I don't know what, I don't know. I know that it takes him a really long time and he works really hard and he really works long hours, but I couldn't tell you exactly what he does right now. I mean, he's a creative director, I would say. So anyway, um, then as we started doing other covers, I started to use a photographer and that was really cool. We would go to the Jersey Shore, kind of like we're about an hour and a half from the Jersey Shore. So we would go to the Jersey Shore, and I would have a friend of mine who was a photographer go and take the pictures. I would get models, people that I knew, take them. We would do like all these really cool um, pictures, and then I would pick what I want, and then I would, me and my husband would just collaborate, and it's just such a really cool collaboration, and it's become like a family thing,
Oh,
um, which is even cooler. And for this cover, we were just so super excited because I had a vision in my head, and I kind of liked the idea of both of them floating because he to me, it was kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Symbolic that he's the one who's looking down on her
mhm.
and she's looking up, but because he was always the protective one, Austin was always the protective one. So I kind of thought of the formation of the both of them in on the cover. And then I just wanted something romantic because in the book, each chapter is starts with a love quote, a romantic quote, whether it's from a
Yeah.
poet, whether it's from a movie, whether it's something. So I know that I wanted something floral, something with flowers. And we spent a weekend having, a few cocktails and just, he worked his magic and I had a vision and it just came together. And when I got it in the mail, I literally sobbed because I mean, I just thought it was just really cool. And just the
I
fact
mean,
that him and I did it together was just so fun. It's just so fun to work with him. It really is.
that's that's beautiful. I love that because I know when I got that email and I saw the cover for the first time, I was floored. I was like, I don't know what I expected, but I wasn't expecting it to be so pretty. And
Oh, thank
I'm a
you.
sucker for pretty covers. Like half the time I don't read the synopsis. I buy it off of cover. I am a cover girl and it's so bad.
I I know. Same way. I'm the same way. That's why I always make sure. I mean, it doesn't hurt to be married to a designer. And I see some covers, and they always say don't judge a book by its cover, but
I do.
I don't know, I kind of do. And I
I
don't
do.
think, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it because what's in between the pages is really what matters. But
Yeah.
I like pretty things and I would like to see that's something that I always go by. I want to see something if I'm walking into a bookstore, whether it's an independent bookstore, whether it's Barnes and Nobles, and I see, or Target, I see a book and I'm like, oh my gosh, that cover is so cool, or that's so beautiful. And then you read the synopsis and you're like, okay, cool. Um, or like you see a dragon on the front cover and he's like clawed with blood. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. But
I am a cover girl and it has not, knock on wood, it has not been wrong for me. Like if the book is pretty, a pretty cover, I love it. I end up loving the book. So that's how I pick my 5-star reads. And I saw your cover and I was like, this is the prettiest
oh,
thing that I have ever seen. And
I
that's why I
love that.
messaged you and I was like, I need, because I like to buy from author stores, like your guys' shop. So I'm like, I need to
Yeah.
know if you have one because it needs to be on my shelf so quickly.
Oh, and I was so excited to mail them out to everybody, and but I felt so bad about poor Inez. Inez, I am so sorry it is not there yet, but girl, you live far, far away. So,
She's
and I messaged her and I said, I am so sorry. It'll get there. It will get there. It's just gonna take a little bit of time.
fine.
So,
No,
yeah,
she was
but it,
excited. We were all excited. Yes, and yeah,
oh
we appreciate
gosh.
you so much for sending them. I was not expecting that, and I want to thank you so much for doing that. That was such a fun thing to have.
Yeah, you guys are just so, yeah, that's that. No, you're so welcome. I mean, really, it was my absolute pleasure to send it out because I wanted you guys because your reactions to it and for some of the book club members who wrote such beautiful reviews, you guys deserve to have those. And I know they were arcs, but to have something on your bookshelf and you get to hold it and you get to love it and like that's how I am. Like my shelves are covered and um
Yes.
last year for my birthday, I asked for new bookshelves and we set them up and they look so ugly. And my husband's like, oh God, this is terrible. Like, what? And I'm like, but how do you stop buying books? So I buy books that I absolutely just totally and absolutely fall in love with that I have to have it. I have to have it and I'll find a place for it. But if I fell in love with a book that much, I need to have the paperback. I need to
Yes.
have it. It's just, you know.
I'm so
Something that
guilty
I
of
need
that
to
too.
have.
And if I find an author that I've read multiple books of them and I'm like instantly 5 stars, I just start to buy them blindly. And it drives my husband crazy because like when I got yours in the mail, he was just like another one. I was like, okay,
Another one.
but it's phenomenal.
Did he like it? He liked the
Yeah, he said
cover?
it was pretty.
What'd
Yeah,
you
I
get?
was like, see, I was like, it's pretty and it's phenomenal. And he was like, you already read it? I was like, yeah, but now I need a trophy for the shelf. He just looked at me. He
It's
was like,
trophies. That's kind of how I feel about them. Like I feel as though they're trophies, and I will look
100%.
like a lot of my daughter. It's so funny, but some of my daughter's friends actually will come over and say, "Can I borrow a book?" Like they have come over and say, "Can I borrow a book?" I mean, they're 19 and 20 years old. So
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, pick out what's over there. Like, you can, yeah. And then one of them picked out mine and she started reading it out loud to me. And I'm like, no, I can't. No, you can't do this to me. No, don't read that in front of me. No, no, and I wanted to cover my ears because she was reading parts in it. But I'm like, I've known you since you were 5. You can't read that in front of me. So
No.
do that in private. Can you do that in clutches my pearls, stop buying books? Because
Yeah,
you
I
loan
don't
your
loan my
trophies.
I do not.
Well, certain ones I do. Certain ones I do. Like I have the whole entire my favorite series of 2024. I mean, I devoured the series was the Windy City series by Liz Tom
Mhm.
Forty. Did anybody read that?
I haven't, but
The
now I'm
Windy City
intrigued.
series, The Right Move, Play Along, Rewind It Back.
I think I actually have one. I think I bought one because the cover was pretty. That sounds familiar.
Girl, let me tell you, those books were amazing, and I had to have every single one. And I literally, like, I don't know, just said click, 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 click.
Okay,
I
that
need
definitely
these on
sounded
my shelf.
familiar. Yeah,
Yeah,
we did read them. Okay,
they're
see?
so. You did read them. They're amazing. And then if you listen, so I'm an immersive reader, so I have to listen and read
Okay.
because and that's how I found you guys because I knew that you were having Jacob Morgan on, and I'm like to my friend Charisse, who Charisse is on here, and she lives in California, and because we love the same narrators, um, we became friends. And I live in Pennsylvania and she lives in California, and we talk literally 10 times a day, right, Charisse? And our love of Jacob Morgan. And then when we found out that he was coming live on your uh your book club, we were freaking out. Like it was like Christmas. It was crazy. We were like,
Yes. He's so
and
nice too.
so cool, right? So cool. So that's that's how our friendship sort of started. But Pennsylvania girly here, um, and so I read submersively. Like I need to like listen to what these characters sound like
Yeah.
because when I'm writing, I know what they sound like in my head, and I pray someday that I'll be able to put have an audiobook out. This one in particular, like I would love to have this done in
Yes.
an audio format
It's
because I
beautiful.
just love the story. So I really like, and I'm really proud of it. So I think it would be excellent on audio. But that's how I read. I'm always walking around the house with my headphones on, and my family's always yelling, "Mom, Mom," or yelling my name, and I can't
Yep.
hear them. And then they go like, well, she's on her headphones. She's on her headphones, and I'm like, listen, a girl has to have a hobby, and it's okay. Like, you
Right?
know.
I always have a
So
headphone in, but I started using only one because that kept happening to me. Like they kept, Mom, and I'm like, I'm just trying to do dishes here, guys, but I'm like trying to listen to a book. Like, so now I have
yes,
one, so like I can hear people if they need me, and then I can pause it because like sometimes my book gets too intense. I have to sit down, so they think like this is available. Like I'm just chilling here. I'm like, no, I'm just
right.
needing a second.
Right, exactly. Yes, like yeah. I mean, cooking dinner, cleaning, um,
Yes, I get so
my
much done when I have an
earphones.
audio.
Oh
So much
gosh, it's
done.
like because the time passes and it's great. And I mean, I really enjoy like that submersive reading. I really, you're on another planet. Yes, you are on another planet when you have um an audiobook on. It's really cool. It's really cool. But
What is your
yeah.
writing process like? Because when I read this one, like I said, I finished it in one sitting and I could not stop
Oh,
reading it.
oh, thank
And
you so much.
it was a movie. I felt like it was a movie in my head. The way you wrote it, it was just like it flowed so well. And it was like I just swiping it, swiping it, swiping. And I was like,
Oh
by the
my
time I look up,
gosh.
the sun's coming
Well,
up, and I was like, you know what? It's worth the coffee because that book was phenomenal.
oh gosh, thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you.
It's amazing. You
As
should
far
be
as the
proud.
writing process goes, I started this 2 years ago,
Really?
and I, I went back to it, and I had 6 chapters done 2 years ago, and I think what got me to start again was the whole process of my, as we were talking before, it was just you and I talking about my medical issues and
Right.
how I really needed something to take my mind off of um, my pain and my injury and everything. And so I just started, I went back, I found the manuscript and in my laptop, and I went back to it and made a few tweaks with names and different things like that, and just got into the whole romanticism of the story. The process was I write a lot of notes up in the corner, right up here. They are all notebooks from
Oh,
all the books that I have written. Like all those little notebooks up there are full of notes from books that I have done. So I don't plot, but I also have like ideas. Like I can't tell you how many times I've sat up in bed and my husband's like, "What? What's the problem?" And I said, "I have an idea. I have an idea." And
yes.
he's like, "Oh my God, you just scared the crap out of me." And I'm like, "Sorry," but now he's used to it. And then I write it down. So that's my process. I don't like the plot because in my brain, the story changes all the time. So if I plot, I write down the ideas, I don't plot. So I just kind of like go with the flow. And what I'm feeling that day is how I write. And everyone has a different process. I've been around so many authors for the past 10 years, or,
Right.
oh God, over 10 years. And everybody has a different process. So my process is kind of, I go with the flow. What I feel like that day is kind of what I put into my character. And I must have been having like a real, can you curse on here?
Sometimes TikTok is very like finicky on what you can.
Can you say shit? Can you say
I think
shit?
so. Yeah.
It, okay, if you're having like a shit day, if I'm having a shit day, then I'm gonna write something that is basically like they're in a bad mood. So
Right.
if you know this scene where, and girls that have read it, the scene where Tennyson goes to Austin's apartment after
Hmm.
I was I was either in a lot of pain that day from my injury or just like really pissed off at the world and I wanted to tell everybody to eat shit. So basically I wrote that scene in like total and absolute like yeah, we need angst here and I'm bringing the angst because I feel angsty and
Very good.
there's a line that he says to her and
Yep.
I think I read it to my husband. I'm not sure. And he goes, "You pulled out that word?" And it's a big word, and I'm not going to say it on here, but I wrote it with like passion. I write everything I write with passion, but for that particular scene, I must have been having like a really crappy day.
I
So
remember
I
I got to
write
that scene and I
what
went like an audible, like I clutched my pearls for that one. I was like, he said what?
mm, I know, and oh God, I know, and I it's so silly to sit here and say like you were angry. Well, you wrote them. Yeah, but I was mad at him. And
Yeah.
so therefore I needed to write him to be a jerk for like 1 minute because he's so good throughout the whole entire book, but I needed him to be a jerk.
Make
Yeah,
him
I know you all
realistic. Yeah.
gasped. I hear you.
No,
Yes.
I like I clutched my pearls with that one. I was like, Austin, no. But it's
I
realistic because
know.
we have those moments, like, right? He's not gonna always be this chipper, go-lucky guy that makes no mistakes. He made a mistake, and it was just like you got me off guard with the mistake. You made a mistake.
Well, right. And because he really, was so heartbroken and because you know really what he's really like and he's such a
Yeah.
sweetheart and so down to earth and just like loves her with every fiber of his being, like you just I needed him to like be a jerk just for a second and then take it all back and let let's move on with the story. Um, so that's the writing process. The writing process is like that. There's hardly any plotting, but there's a lot of note taking, like a lot of note taking. Like I really write a lot of things down. And then I'll go back and I'll change it and I'll say, oh, I don't know if that scene works here or if that works there. So I'll take that and I'll say, okay, save this. And I'll write that in one of those notebooks, like save this.
Okay.
And then I'll just tuck it away for later. And with this book, I did take some scenes and plop them in to like later on in the story. So
I love how you
yeah.
did it like mood based though, because it felt very realistic. And that's why I think I just devoured it because it wasn't like this hallmarky kind of love. It was like a real friends to lovers. And I love that you made them flawed. You made them have mistakes because, she did something that wasn't very nice, to him as well.
Right.
And
Right.
I was very shocked and I was
Yes.
like, but that's valid because that's what she was feeling and what she was processing at the time. And she's been burned more than
Oh,
once.
I got, I know what scene you're talking about, and I cannot tell you how many DMs I got.
Oh
How could
no.
you do that? How could she do that? And I'm like, keep reading, and
Hmm.
you'll figure out why she, you'll
Right.
mood motivated, yes, and why she did that, and you know, he needed to kind of like feel things out, realize different things without giving a lot away. Or, she needed to realize a lot of things. They both needed to grow up a little bit. I think they both needed to grow up a little bit.
Yes. And I
Um,
think that kind of did the character art because she also had unresolved feelings from like, her past relationship and getting over what
yeah.
happened to her. And I felt
Hmm.
like that fed into her relationship with Austin. So I felt like she needed that moment of being mean to be like, okay, I did this because I was so angry, but I shouldn't have. Like, have that maturity kind of click in. Like, that's not something I should have done. And just
And
like him, he
and
needed to
that's
know, like, I shouldn't have done that.
yeah. And that was when Kat called her out on that when
Mhm.
in that one scene they went out and she called her out and she was, she called her out on it. And
I loved her for
I
that.
think,
Yep.
yeah, she was just like, oh, so I heard you. And she told her straight out she was wrong because if you can't be honest, then,
Right.
you have to have some honesty when you're writing your characters as well. They have to be honest and they have to be, forthcoming. And
Mm.
in Kat, she was that for 10. And I needed her to be that. And I needed 10 to be like, oh my God, I really screwed up. I really
Yep.
screwed up.
And I love that
So
you made
that
her a
was,
real friend, like not the friend that's like kind of just cheering you on and like watching you go through it, like a friend that's like seeing what you're doing from the outside and be like, you need to go correct this. Because that's the real type of friends that you need in your life because maybe you don't
yes,
see that perspective, you don't see what you're doing wrong. And her being
yes.
like, you shouldn't have done that. That was crossing the line. I felt like that made everything click. And she was like, I'm just acting out and now I'm hurting him without like any intention
Inez
behind
is
it.
saying, don't forget that she lost her trust in people too.
Yep.
She lost her trust in people because she not only what happened to her, but then she also was betrayed.
Yep.
And that happened. That is, that's based, it's really funny where it's not funny. It's not funny at all, actually, but maybe it's like saying that actually happened to a friend of mine's daughter. And so the beginning of the story is really based on loosely based on facts. And I got the permission from my friend. I'm like, hey, I have an idea for a story. And what do you would you guys mind if I just took like little bits and pieces and I weave them, wove them together to create this scenario? And they were like, gave me total carte blanche to do that and go ahead. And that was really, that meant a lot to me that I could use that little part of that story. And then somebody else's story that I had heard that happened to them. And, but I changed a lot. I just used examples, so to
Right.
speak, and then created my own I weaved my own tale.
Yeah, and it was like I said,
So,
very realistic, and I loved Kat's character, and it was like the more we got interactions with her, the more I loved and respected her. So I wanted to ask, is she gonna get her own story? No.
well, she has her own story. She has her own story. We know that she has her happily ever after.
Right.
Um, I got a lot of, I mean, never say never. There's always novellas that you could write a little novella or whatever, like her, or so maybe like Kat's origin story of how she met
Yes.
Gabe or something like that, and how they became to be, and maybe her seeing through Tennyson and Austen's um, relationship through her eyes. But she does have her own chapter in the book. So I gave her her own chapter, and
I just wanted more.
I, you just wanted some more. You just wanted more. Oh, well,
Well, it's just like I
that's
loved
very
their love
complimentary.
story and like how they talked about their relationship, and then I loved her character. So I was like, honestly, if you could just like write me a receipt of how they got together, I would be happy. Just be
You know
like
what?
girl
I
met boy,
never
and I would
even
be
thought of.
happy.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, never say never. Never say. I mean, never say never. I, I've gotten some, um, not flack, but they want like a part two. Okay, so what happens at the end? Can we have a part two? And I'm like, I kind of wanted their story to end where it ended,
Mhm.
and then you can figure out what happens after that. Like, I don't know. I've written two series, and it's really difficult to write a series because
Yeah.
a lot goes into writing a series. So I have three books in each series, and I went to go and finish the second series, and then, you know, kids and life
I have
and
three too, I
just,
get it.
they were the years where I was like running around like a maniac, and my husband was working so hard. So I was the main caregiver, and practice here and practice there. And I was
Yeah.
that mom. So,
That's
but
that's me
it's okay.
currently.
What?
That's me currently. I'm always at a
Say that
practice.
again.
Soccer practice, gymnastics practice,
It was
everywhere.
dance, it was swim, it was math tutoring, it was field hockey, it was, kids going to, um, catechism class, like different, like stuff like that. And just, I don't think I sat down for 10 years. I'm not
I was
sure.
going
I
to
don't
say
know.
18 years.
Oh my gosh. Well, they're 22 and 19 now. So, there was a long time that I was like, oh my gosh, how did I get through that day? How did I get
Yeah.
through that day? And I did it. And the crazy thing is, when I started, they were 6 and 9 when I started writing. They
Oh,
had
wow.
no idea that I would wake up at 5 a.m. and write for 2 hours before they got up and I got them off to school. Then I worked part time, like a few hours in the morning, and then I would
Mhm.
come home and write. And then I would go and pick them up at school, come home, total mom mode, homework, cook,
Yeah.
hang out afterwards. When they went to bed, I would write for hours, like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Like I would just write. And I did that for a few years until they really started needing me a heck of a lot more involvement, more things that you needed, to do. So, yeah. Um,
I know.
and
I'm
I
excited to
just,
dive into your enemies to lovers series because now you're speaking our language because that's our jam.
uh, so they're up here. I don't know if you can see them or not. So the first series is the reunion series. And there's three books: Reunion, You Belong with Me, and Letters to Luca. Um, oh God, I loved writing those books. It was really cool. Um, and when I started writing Reunion, I was the independent authors started to really come out, and I just devoured, like total and absolutely devoured in indie author books. And I was like, I wonder if I can do this. Like, I'm pretty creative. I wonder if I could do it. So I had like an iPad, and when the kids went to bed, I would just start typing. And then my husband would work like a lot of late nights and stuff. And finally, he just came up to me and he was said to me, "What are you what are you doing on the computer? Like, what's going on?" And I'm like, I'm writing a book. And he was like, "You're what?" And I said, "I'm writing a book." And he said, "Can I read it?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I only did like 8 chapters. And like, I don't know how far. Yeah, you can read it. Go ahead." So I gave him the iPad. I went to bed. He wakes me up at 1 in the morning. And he was like, "I think we have something here." And I'm like, "Really?"
I love
Like, and that's how it started. I finished it, and then we tried to figure out how do you publish? And that's how it went from there. Yeah, it was
I
really
love that he
cool.
was so
Any
supportive
chance?
to you.
He is, he's so supportive. He's really super cool and supportive. I mean, when I first started writing, there was a lot of traveling that went on because there was a lot of book signings were huge. 2012 to 2015, I would probably do 4 book signings a year, maybe more during that time. So I was traveling from West Coast, East Coast, in between, like, and he came to a lot of places with me. So the first signing that I ever did was out in California, and Joseph is not my last name. That is not my last name. I took that. My father passed away 29 years ago, and his name was Joseph. So
Oh,
when I wanted to write, I wanted a pen name, I took his name. So it's my first initial and my last name's initial, and then Joseph, which is my dad's name. So anyway, we're in California, and we're standing outside waiting for a car to pick us up to go to our hotel. And these women just started yelling, "Mr. Joseph, Mr. Joseph." And he was like looking around, and he goes, are they talking? Are they talking to me? Are they talking? Am I Mr. Joseph? And I'm like, "I think you're Mr. Joseph." And then they came up to us and started talking, and he was Mr. Joseph. So then the next year we went back to California and went to another signing, and my friend who hosted the first signing hosted the second signing, and his name tag said Mr. Joseph on it because then it was like a running joke that he was Mr. Joseph. So I think her son is in the live. Yes, my son is. My son is in the live. Question for MR Joseph. Do you think you have the coolest son ever? Oh, yes. And I will explain why I have the coolest son ever. That's what my son just wrote. My son graduates from college in December, and he is an interactive graphic design major. So if you ever saw any of the teasers, any of the little shorts that I did to promote the book, that was all my son. He created everything, and he's almost 2 hours away from me. And we collaborated like
I love
over the phone, over FaceTime. Like I gave him an idea, he put this together, we tweaked it. He is super talented. I am so proud of him. He's gonna do big things.
I love
I would
that.
like him to do big things for the book world. So we'll see what happens. But he did a
Ooh, we
lot
will
for
keep an
me,
eye
and
out.
yeah, really cool. Thank you. Thank you.
And would you mind if I
Yes.
invited the rest of Book Club in here? I know they're dying to give you some feedback.
Yes, I want to
Yeah.
say hi to everybody. I want to see all the faces.
Oh man, our chat chain when we were reading your book was crazy.
Oh, I want to hear. I got to hear. I got to hear what everybody says.
Okay, here we go. Everybody in here.
That's Tara, right? Is it a Tara with the earphones on with the headset?
No, that's Jen.
That is
Oh, that's
Jen.
Jen.
Hi.
Okay. So everybody, oh,
Hi.
you're Wendy.
I'm Wendy.
Oh, hi.
In California, I was supposed
Hi,
to see.
everybody. Now, Munchkin is that.
I
That's
invited.
Ashley.
Hi.
It said I
Mother of
invited
Dragons
Tara.
is Inez.
Oh, that's
Hi.
Ashley. Okay.
Did it not? Tara.
I know Inez is mother of dragons.
Let me invite you again. Did that go?
That is so cool.
Sorry, I'm currently outside, a few minutes away from home. I'm just going to mute. Sorry.
Oh, there's Marissa. Okay.